What should you not do when your husband cheats? In this video, we will talk about what you should avoid doing if your man, your husband, is being unfaithful. This may have been going on for some time. Before we move on to the discussion, I ask you to click the subscribe button and like this video so that as many people as possible can see it. So, let's get started. If your man is cheating, you need to decide on a strategy. Are you ready to forgive him? Are you willing to forgive the infidelity? Or will you not forgive at all? This is what you should base your decisions on. Infidelity is a complex blow. It involves difficult emotions that are hard to bear. But in this challenging situation, it is necessary to think about yourself, not about the man who is cheating, nor about the children or relatives. You need to think about whether you are ready to accept and forgive, whether you are willing to come to terms with the situation that has happened, and that you know, if you understand that you love this person and comprehend the reasons for the infidelity and are ready to forgive, then in this video, we will talk about how to act in this situation. So, the first thing is to remain silent and suffer. This is something you should never do under any circumstances. If you see that your man is cheating on you and you are willing to accept him, but after these betrayals you are suffering and in pain and afraid to say anything, then you will only cause yourself more harm. The man understands that the woman knows and the wife knows about the infidelities, and she is silent. So, she is fine with everything, which means he is allowed to do even more. If you are in pain, listen to your feelings. In this situation, you can scream, break dishes, argue, cry, or spend the night at a friend's or your mother's. In other words, help yourself to experience these emotions. Do not keep them inside, otherwise you will inflict huge wounds on yourself with this pain. Therefore, cry and express what you are thinking at that moment. Suffer, break dishes, but do what your soul demands. You need to let out what is inside. If you pretend that nothing is happening and close your eyes, the situation will repeat itself endlessly, and it will only hurt you more. What should not be done, calling and meeting with the mistress. In this situation, when a woman wants to see her competitor, her rival, the one who wants to take her husband away from the family, and she agrees to meetings and calls, the wife only makes things worse for herself. Firstly, it is an incredible pain to see the one with whom the loved one, the beloved husband, is trying to build a new relationship. There are always some comparisons, there is always a lot of pain. But what is dangerous about this meeting? The mistress often turns such a meeting to her advantage, and after the wife's meeting with the mistress, the husband often leaves home. Why? Because the mistress often presents this situation and conversation from her perspective. The mistress can provoke the wife into saying certain words and taking certain actions. Then the mistress presents herself in such a favorable light, portraying herself as the poor, unfortunate one, while the wife is depicted as attacking with fists and accusations, and for example, as a hysteric. No, not everything is fine, but the mistress seems so innocent and fluffy. This means that the man will see this situation and your meeting through the eyes of the mistress, because certain feelings have flared up there and he is more inclined to trust the mistress. Therefore, under no circumstances agree to not meet. Moving on, cheating. Cheating out of a sense of revenge is, let's say, not at all what you need to do right now. Your infidelity will bring you even more pain and possibly a feeling of dirtiness. You will cause pain to perhaps another person as well. So one should not respond to evil with evil, meaning one should not descend into this black pit. You need to sort out your own feelings and what you want. Do you want to preserve the relationship? If you want to save the relationship, then if the man finds out about your infidelity in response, he will most likely decide to break up. Next, quick forgiveness. Here, a woman learned about the infidelity. The man repented, fell at her feet, hugged her, and started giving gifts, and the woman said she forgave him. That is, inside, she certainly did not forgive. Forgiveness, in fact, is a long process because learning to trust again is very difficult, meaning that some time must pass. And when a woman pretends that she has forgiven, she is again hiding certain moments within herself. And from time to time, there may be some sharp words or biting remarks. Through her behavior, a woman can show a man her distrust. This distrust will, in turn, destroy the relationship. Moreover, if a man understands that a woman has forgiven him too quickly, it means that he can be forgiven for many things in that relationship. So if a man is asking for forgiveness and he was drunk, he didn't mean it and there are no real feelings involved. It's just that Well, men often have many excuses, so give him a chance to be in that state where he loses a lot because of his own foolishness. Moving on, constant scandals. If you have decided to forgive, meaning you have already gone through a certain period after the infidelity and you realize that you want to forgive, by not just for the sake of saying it, but genuinely, then try not to return to the moment of betrayal. If you are not ready to forgive, then perhaps it is necessary to stay in that difficult state for a while. However, if you have already forgiven, try to move from that point and learn to build a new life and your relationships in a different way. But if you keep returning to the past, reminiscing and arguing, it can only serve as a starting point for actual emotional imprisonment. There should be no accusations or reminders. This is simply taboo. That is, everything is over. You have cried, talked it out, argued, clarified things, and you have decided to forgive. This means it is a new point, a new chapter in your life, and this needs to be accepted. Lastly, do not turn the children against their father. Here is what you should absolutely not do. Even if you have decided to part ways with your husband because you could not forgive the betrayal, do not involve the children in this matter. The minimum you can do is inflict some emotional wounds that the children will later have to work through with a psychologist. The maximum is that they will be unable to build happy relationships in the future. When a woman is in a state of anger and pain from infidelity, her children start to hear her say that all men are scoundrels. For example, if she has 2 daughters, or a daughter and a son, she begins to express that he is a scoundrel and that all men are scoundrels. At this moment, it forms in their children an understanding of life, that life is dangerous, people are dangerous, and people cause harm. For example, the girl thinks that men cannot be trusted, while the boy grows up to be just like his father, a cheater. Although he may have been hurt in this situation and feels very sorry for his mom, he will repeat this scenario. So, no matter how much it hurts you, accept the fact that the father is just as much a parent as you are, and if your relationship didn't work out, then that is solely your relationship. He may be just a terrible husband, simply not ready for family life, but he can be a good father to his children. Therefore, once again, one should not think so much about oneself, indulge one's ego, or turn the children against their father. You can thereby ruin your children's lives. That's all I have regarding this video. It was me, Alice Vardomska. I hope for your likes and subscriptions. Write in the comments what you would like to discuss in my new videos. Don't forget to hit the bell, and goodbye everyone.